for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kusa. You ain't here for my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Right, hello everyone. Grand Rising, thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Excuse me. Okay, so before we get into it, let's have a brief word from my sponsor.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so with that all being said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Don't forget that she has a beard oil for men as well. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, I was sitting here laughing because I see someone put in the chat, Queen Sam said, did y'all see that bishop in New York City got 9 years for stealing money from the church folks? Are you talking about Bishop Whitehead? Bishop Jamal Whitehead, is that who you're talking about, beloved? Is that who you're talking about? Because I reported on him months ago. He's a whole hot mess. Okay, so anyway, hello, Claudette. Jeff ATL is here. All right, Nessa G is in the house. Queen Sam, of course. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Everybody hit that like button. Okay, please, the like, share, and subscribe. 555 is in the house. Okay, Leon, Nita's and Mike's World. Deronda is here. All right. Shout out to all of my loyal royals. I see you, Leon, beloved. And shout out to my moderators putting in work. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. I see you, Lorraine, 504 Nola's in the house. Okay, YouTube is being real sketchy about sending out the notifications, not just for me, but I've heard a few other people complaining as well. All right. Hey, Dark Tube. Joy is in the house, Pretty Wings. Okay, let's get into it. Now, if you have not been receiving notifications, if I have your email, I've likely emailed you the links, okay, just for your information. All right, so before we get into this whole thing with Trump and his foolishness and how India is going in on him, let's talk about this tennis player, Jelena Ostapenko. Well, we already know that days ago she was very upset because she lost her match, okay, against the young Black woman, Taylor Townsend, okay? And so she said some derogatory things. And but now she's come out and apologized. Well, guess what? Nobody wants to hear it, beloved. Nobody wants to hear it. Okay. At the end of the day, I don't know what it is about some of these racist people. They just think that, I guess they feel that they're supposed to just always outdo Black folk and get upset when Black folk outdo them. This woman also has a history of being a sore loser, apparently, because they say that she barely wants to shake the hand of her opponent when she loses. And so, I guess it's no shock that she said these disparaging things about Taylor Townsend. Okay, so let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go. All right. Now, hold on. I'm going to go to the beginning first.
Who so very well to handle a moment when 5-3 down in the opening set. So this one, no love lost between these two.
No, I don't have to do anything.
Very pressed.
One thing you know for sure, Taylor Townsend ain't for backing down.
Start to finish, we'll get to it all. Can you fill us in on the conversation you were having with Yelena out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's competition. People get upset when they lose, and you can't. Some people say bad things. She told me I have no class, I have no education, and to see what happens when we get outside the U.S. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I beat her in Canada outside the U.S. I beat her in New York outside the U.S. So let's see what else she has to say.
You were down 5-3, won 9 straight games. What changed for you?
Honestly, I just locked in. I mean, she was playing really well at the beginning. And, when she was playing well, I didn't say anything. And so that just shows class. I mean, sometimes people are playing too good and you have to just take it. But I turned it up another level. And that's what I'm most proud of today.
Fire from the crowd.
Not all her intentions were. I can only speak on how I handled the situation. And how I handled it is someone who's upset about the outcome that occurred. You lost and you're upset about that. Saying I have no education and no class. I don't really take that personally because I know that it's so far from the truth. The thing that I'm the most proud of is that I let my racket talk, because ultimately I'm the one here sitting in front of you guys, moving on to the next round, getting the next check, moving on, being able to still be here and speak to you guys. And that's what's the most important. She's packed up and she's gone. Can't speak on what her.
Okay, y'all heard that, honey. She is packed up and she is gone. Okay, so with that all being said, let's go to what she said after the fact, because now she wants to try to start mayo-splaining. So let's get into it. Hi all. I wanted to apologize for some of the things I said during my second round singles match. English is not my native language. So when I said education, I was speaking only about what I believe as tennis etiquette. But I understand how the words I used could have offended many people beyond the tennis court. I appreciate the support as I continue to learn and grow as a person and a tennis player. Goodbye, New York, and I look forward to being back next year. Jelena. Girl, sit down somewhere. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? Okay, so with that all being said, she's talking about English is not her first language. So when she said education, she didn't really mean that Taylor Townsend was not educated. No, she was merely saying that she was thinking about tennis etiquette. Girl, sit down some damn where. Okay, sit down somewhere. Okay, so anyway, in the beginning of the match, all players are supposed to start warm-up on the baseline. The opponent came out and straight away started the warm-up at then, which is very disrespectful and against the rules of a tennis match. This is what she posted. Just a small update about the match. Today after the match, I told my opponent that she was very disrespectful as she had a net ball in a very deciding women I'm sorry, in a very deciding moment, I think that's what that should be, but she left out the T, and didn't say sorry. But her answer was that she doesn't have to say sorry at all. I guess the missing T from moment, she put it right here with her sorry. Is that to further make us think that this is not her language and that she can't speak it very well and doesn't understand some of the words? Probably so, but I'm not going for it. Okay, but anyway, but her answer was that she doesn't have to say sorry at all. There are some rules in tennis which most of the players follow, and it was first time ever that this happened to me on tour. If she plays in her homeland, it doesn't mean that she can behave and do whatever she wants. Thanks all my fans for your support. I will come back stronger. Situations like that motivate me to work even harder.
Can't speak on what her intentions were.
Yeah, well, you know, it
I
looks
can
like
only speak.
situations like that encourage you to get upset, okay, and lose your temper. All right, that's what it sounds like to me. But here she is again. Now let's go to this clip where she's having a little press conference and trying to make it all make sense, which clearly it does not. Okay, epic fail as far as I'm concerned. Let me put an overlay on this real quick. Okay.
I spoke to Alona after the match, but during our conversation, I didn't know what happened. And, well, I have to say that she's nice, you know, she just sometimes can lose control. And she has some things in life to face and some struggles. So I was just trying to help her to, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, just not like face it more in mature way, but I was just trying.
Now, I like her nerve. Do you all hear this? She said that she was just trying to help her because she has struggles in life. Why does she have struggles in life? What do you know about her struggles? Because she's Black, she has struggles at the end of the day, and she's trying to help her. Honey, you should help yourself, okay? Because clearly you were pressed and upset because you lost, okay? How about this? Go get some more practice in. That's what you should do. Instead of sitting here pining, okay, and trying to mansplain your way out of this kerfunkle that you got yourself in, honey, please. Why don't you go and get in some more practice, okay? That's what you probably need.
To help her to like settle down and kind of like just was someone she could speak to and just let it go, you know. I think she just sometimes can just lose control over her emotions, which pretty tough. And I really hope that one day she will figure it herself and she will handle it much better.
You think there's something else going on off court that affected?
I think so, yeah. You know, like sometimes when you struggle with some things in life, it's of course can reflect your tennis career, and on court you're more unstable and you can lose control and you just don't understand what's going on in the moment. And then for sure, I'm pretty sure, like looking back, she's not happy with her behavior.
Did y'all hear that? I mean, it's the caucasity of it for me, dare I say. Did y'all hear that? That witch? I mean, she's acting as if the Black woman acted like a whole ghetto fool and that she should be better trained to contain herself next time. Hopefully she won't be so disrespectful and so childish. Isn't that basically what she said to sum it all up? Honey, she sounds stupid as hell, but then had the nerve to try to act like she was apologizing and then talking about English in her first language. And so when she meant educated, uneducated, let me tell y'all something. That's what the devils always say about Black people. Please pay attention. These racist demons and devils, that's what they always say, is that Black people are uneducated. But who's the most uneducated? I'm sorry, us or them. Okay, out of racist people we're talking about specifically. Not all white people collectively, but out of racist people. Who would you venture to think is least uneducated, us or racist people? I'm sorry, it's going to be them. All right, that's just what it is. First of all, you have to be insidiously obtuse to be disrespectful, hateful, and envious of someone just because of the skin that they're in. That's for number one, someone who didn't do anything to you that you don't even know. Yeah. I'm going to say it's them. So with that all being said, honey, she can miss us with it, and I'm sure Taylor thinks the same thing, that she can miss her with it as well. Now let's talk about Charles Nefarious president, because first things on the agenda is this. He's out here trying to start some mess with Kamala. Honey, he's out here trying to rig midterms. I told y'all about that yesterday. If you missed that video, please go back and watch. But now he has revoked poor Kamala's Secret Service protection, which Biden had actually extended for her. Now, who does Trump think he is? Oh, yeah, that's right. He thinks he's the ruler of the world. Trump revokes Kamala Harris' Secret Service protection. Dirty devil. Okay, so President Trump has taken Secret Service protection away from former Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, according to a senior White House official, they confirmed this with CBS News. Now, former vice presidents, their spouses, and children younger than 16 typically only continue to receive protection by the Secret Service for up to 6 months after leaving office under a law passed by Congress in 2008. But for recent administrations, an outgoing vice president's detail has been extended beyond that allotted time because of a heightened threat environment. Okay, and so Biden clearly extended it for Kamala. Federal law allows the Secretary of Homeland Security to direct the Secret Service to provide temporary protection for a former vice president for longer than 6 months after leaving the White House. Okay, if the Secretary of Homeland Security or designee, designee determines that information or conditions warrant such protection. Former President Joe Biden had signed an executive order in early January that extended Harris's detail to 18 months after she left office. 2 senior officials at the Department of Homeland Security gave this information. Now, however, Mr. Trump made the decision Thursday to revoke that continued protection, and an executive memorandum was issued to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, directing her to, in fact, rescind Harris's Secret Service detail effective September the 1st, and that is today. Now, the directive was then forwarded to the Secret Service, and the agency will comply with the order, according to Homeland Security officials. But the U.S. Secret Service ran a threat assessment on Harris and did not find anything alarming, nothing that would warrant extending her detail past the usual 6 months, according to sources familiar with the situation. They say the vice president is grateful to the United States Secret Service for their professionalism, dedication, and unwavering commitment to safety. This is what Kirsten Allen, a senior advisor to Harris, said in a statement. Now, with that all being said, the decision by Mr. Trump was first reported by CNN. Not that anyone cares. I don't even know why they had to throw that in. I guess they want to know or want to tell you guys you heard it there first. So since returning to the White House for a second term, Mr. Trump's administration has removed Secret Service protection from several people, including John Bolton, who was the president's national security advisor in his first term, and Hunter Biden and Ashley Biden. Okay, Hunter didn't need it. Hunter has a crack pipe to keep him safe. Please pay attention. The children of former President Joe Biden. Now, that all being said, former presidents and their spouses receive Secret Service protection for life, but that ends for a president's children who are over the age of 16 when they leave the White House. Biden, however, had signed an executive order before the end of his term that extended protection for his adult children. Multiple sources gave the information back in March. Why the hell does Hunter need extended protection? Nobody's checking for him, maybe except for those drug dealers that he's gotten his crack from. I'm just saying. He might owe the plug, is all I'm saying, honey. He might need his protection, honey, because the plug might be looking. Okay, so anyway, that all being said, Trump's just trying to start mess. Okay? He is just trying to start mess. Okay, Alice said she threatened her and said, wait till she comes on her own turf. Yes, talking about Ostapenko. Yes, she absolutely did threaten Taylor Townsend. But she's not going to do anything. Okay, but sit there and whine and grovel when she loses her next match, because she will lose the next one. All right, hopefully. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about it, because, honey, when I tell y'all, Trump is out here making a whole fool out of all of you guys. Trump is making a fool out of all of you guys. Listen, I'm so glad that I am not a part of this country, okay? I have rescinded my citizenship because I refuse to look like an idiot before the world. Trump has gotten India going in on him. They're over there burning American flags. They're over there. They have this effigy of him, and they had that out on display, just publicly mocking him. Okay, humiliating this idiot, as he deserves, mind you. But you know, the reason for some of their angst and disdain, let me just tell you about it. D Major said Trump is the ringleader of the clown show. Exactly. Okay. D Major said, Queen, how can you run for president? Woo, honey, that is just too much work for the Queen, honey. Now, Congress, maybe, but running for president, that is a whole chore. That's a lot, beloved. And I'm quite sure they be trying to take me out real quick. Okay. They be trying to take the Queen up out of here, honey, especially those MAGA supporters. But so here's the thing. Now, listen, you all know that I have told you how your nefarious president, Mr. Trump, aka Agent Orange, aka Wig 5, has been trying his damnedest to get his hands on a Nobel Peace Prize for himself. So with that all being said, D Major said Trump might take your Secret Service away too. Honey, he would never even give me Secret Service detail to begin with, honey. I'd have to have a bunch of Pookies and Ray Rays, okay, in suits to guard the Queen. Please pay attention. Now, I'd prefer to call the Nation of Islam, but they're probably booked. So y'all know how it goes. Anyway, Mel said Trump is an evil devil. You already know. So now listen, here's what this fool has done. And quite frankly, none of us should be surprised. First of all, he has sat up here and lied yet again because he desperately wants to get that Nobel Peace Prize, which he is not going to get. I'll be damned if he does, okay? So he sat up here and bragged. He sat up here and literally bragged about negotiating peace between India and Pakistan. Now, mind you, India and Pakistan have been engaged in war for 75 years, at least. And so, you know, they were trying to fix things themselves and negotiate. But Trump comes up along and snatches up credit, lies, and says that he's the one that got them to cease fire because all he had to do was dangle trade in front of them to get them to stop. Okay, that's what he said. Out here lying. Now, I don't know what kind of fool or idiot you have to be or pathological liar that you have to be to think that you can get on a national stage, on national TV, and tell lies that you know the people that you're lying about are going to see and hear, more likely than not. I really don't understand. Well, yes, I do. I'm sorry. Let me just go back because here's the thing. Pathological liars are the people who lie even when they know that you know that they're in fact lying. Okay? That's what they do. So even if they know that you already know they're lying, they're still going to lie. So that's what Trump is doing as per usual. He knew that they were going to find out that he said this BS. Okay? So now India got very upset about that because it made them look weak. You know, like they can't settle their own negotiations and whatnot. And also, it made it look like, oh, they'll just do anything to still get trade from the U.S. Not to mention Trump threatened them, okay, about jacking up tariffs if they didn't stop dealing with Russia. Okay, so these people are very upset with him. And they're over there making a whole mockery of his stupid self right about now. Let's get into it. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, or shall I say back in China, India, Modi, okay, Modi, Xi Jinping, and Putin all had a meeting, and I heard that it went quite well. And in fact, Putin called Modi Priya Dost, which translated means dear friend. And they were looking a whole lot more chummier than him and Trump ever have looked. Okay, now mind you, Modi hates Trump. Okay, he literally hates Trump. All right, so anyway, that all being said, likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to go to the footage. Oh, this is all a hot mess. Now, this is supposed to be Trump. I think they should have made his face a little more orange looking, to say the least. See this, Trump effigy at Marbot Festival marks protest against 50% U.S. tariffs. oh. Okay, this is what they think of Trump. Remember that time Germany had a parade and they had a butt with Trump's hair on it? Do y'all remember that? And so anyway, with that all being said, he's being mocked. Okay, now let's go to him telling these dastardly lies, just lying through his teeth. And I'm wondering, does he come up with these lies off the top of his head, or does he sit down and, put them together at night, or is someone helping him to come up with these lies? I just have so many questions.
I think the deal I'm most proud of is the fact that we're dealing with India, we're dealing with Pakistan, and we were able to stop potentially a nuclear war through trade as opposed through bullets. Normally they do it through bullets. We do it through trade. So I'm very proud of that.
Prime Minister Modi clearly told President Trump that during this entire episode, there was never any discussion at any level about an India-US trade deal or US mediation between India and Pakistan. The discussion to halt military action occurred directly between India and Pakistan through existing channels between both armies and was made at Pakistan's request. Prime Minister Modi firmly stated that India has neither accepted mediation nor does it do so and never will do. There is complete political unanimity on this subject in India. President Trump understood the details explained by the Prime Minister and expressed support for India's fight against terrorism. Prime Minister Modi also said that India now sees terrorism not as a proxy war, but as a war.
I think the deal I'm...
Now, I want you all to pay attention. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri just obliterated Trump's claim that he brokered peace between India and Pakistan, the so-called deal that he's the most proud of. Okay, said Trump had nothing to do with it. Do y'all see how this man sits up here and lies? Do y'all see how this fool sits up here and just makes it up as he goes? What in the hell is wrong with him? Look at him, still lying. Let's go to the next clip.
Then I saw 7 jets were shut down. I said, that's not good. That's a lot of jets, $150 million planes were shut down. And Pakistan, we're going to end up in a nuclear war if I didn't stop them. It was sort of strange. I saw they were fighting. Then I saw 7 jets were shut down. I said, that's not good. That's a lot of jets, $150 million planes were shut down. A lot of them, 7, maybe more than that. They didn't even report the real number. And the hatred was tremendous. Now, this has been going on for a hell of a long time, like sometimes with different names for hundreds of years.
Trump is a complete idiot. I mean, literally sitting there trying to take credit for something he had. So he thinks he's going to cheat his way to a Nobel Peace Prize?
If you stare this man back, this man is a paper tiger. In fact, not even a paper tiger, maybe a paper fox or a wannabe paper tiger. Donald Trump is foolishly, continuously, and desperately announcing a trade war day after day. He keeps escalating it. And he's just announced about an hour back about total of cumulatively 50% tariffs on India. That's 25% that was already there, and additional 25% because we are buying oil from Russia. 50% MAGA Donald Trump tariffs for India. And we say tonight to Donald Trump, bring it on. Bring it on, ladies and gentlemen.
Bring it on, Trump.
And that's been our response. We've told them that you can't touch us. You can't really impact us. To the United States of America, to Donald Trump, that India is a large and powerful country and a proud country. You can go and try bully someone else.
Tell it.
We are going to stare you back. We are not going to negotiate on these terms. Negotiations do not happen like this. Narendra Modi is not even engaging with Trump. Narendra Modi is not even issuing a soundbite against Trump. Narendra Modi is not even personally responding on social media to Trump. This is absolutely brilliant, because the way Narendra Modi is behaving is the way a statesman-like Prime Minister of India does. Donald Trump does not understand statesmanship. Narendra Modi is getting an official in the Ministry of External Affairs to respond to Trump.
India says that the US imports Russian uranium, chemicals, fertilizers, while criticizing their energy imports. Your response to that, sir?
I don't know anything about it. I'd have to check, but we'll get back to you on that. Yeah, please.
So he dodges. He says, I do not know anything about it. Next question, please. He wants to quickly pivot himself away from the question. He knows he's stuck. Donald Trump, in his body language there, looks completely beaten, because he knows his entire issue is one in which he has no moral position, because America does tons of business with Russia, but does not want us to buy Russian oil.
Y'all heard that? No lies detected. Trump sitting up there smiling, skinny and grinning in Putin's face, but doesn't want them to do the same. Okay? Doesn't want them to do the same. And here's the thing. Trump needs to mind his manners, because for one, India is the largest country. Did you all know that? India has literally outgrown China. Okay, they have outgrown China, and they have this long-standing relationship and ties to Russia. Trump, please sit your stupid self down somewhere before you get us in a war that we can't win. All right? Is he crazy? Is he crazy? D Major says Trump reminds me of a jealous girlfriend with mental issues. Okay. Perfect analogy. But hold on, because India's cooking. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you.
Donald Trump was president in the 20th century. So much could have been avoided. The First World War, the Second World War, the nuclear arms race, the Cold War. Trump could have prevented all of it. After all, his surname is Ceasefire. We know that all politicians are full of themselves. They can be arrogant and boastful. But Trump is one step ahead. He is shamelessly full of himself. As a species, we should be more thankful to Trump. Thanks to his negotiations with God, the sun rises every day. Thanks to his mediation, ships can sail on the ocean. If not for him, gravity would not exist. Give us a break. But jokes aside, there are too many reasons to disqualify Trump. You've got casual sexism. You've got sexual assault allegations. You've got casual racism. You've got Islamophobia. And you've got actual warmongering. Take your pick. There are two kinds of leaders in this world. One who leave the world a better place. The other who leave it worse than they found it. And Trump is clearly in category 2.
Y'all heard that, right? Honey, they are going in on y'all's president. I want y'all to pay attention. And what got me was when the man said Trump wants to be a paper tiger. And he said, no, not even a paper tiger, perhaps a paper fork or spoon. I mean, that is a very, very insulting thing to say. Because in India, the term paper tiger is actually a book that was written called Paper Tiger Law, Bureaucracy or something like that or other. Anyway, it is an idiom for something or someone that appears formidable but actually lacks real power or strength to back up their claims. And I'm sorry, but doesn't that in fact remind you of Donald J. Trump? Isn't that him? Hook, line, and sinker? He talks a lot of talk, but can't back up a darn thing. Okay? Just all lies and BS. Ooh, honey, this is all a hot mess. But anyway, let's talk about Narendra Modi and Xi Jinping. Hold on. No, first let's go to Putin. Putin calls Modi Priadost. Like I said, it means dear friend. Okay? And they were looking a whole lot chummy. So with that all being said, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Trump's down bad. Oh, he is down bad, honey. Please pay attention.
The SEO Summit. An organization that allows heads of states to join forces.
Global South और East के देशों के नेताओं को प्रयास मिलाने को एक मंच प्रदान करता है.
Efforts to create an architecture of equal and inseparable security in Asia, in Eurasia. Prime Minister, my dear friend, on the 21st of December, it is the 15th anniversary of the joint statement marking our relationships as a strategic partnership.
15 साल पूरे हो जाएंगे जब से एक संयुक्त वक्तव्य पर हस्ताक्षर किए गए थे जिसमें हमारे स्पेशल प्रिविलेज्ड पार्टनरशिप पर किस तरह हम पहुंचे. 15 साल हो गए.
And we can say with confidence that the Russian-Indian ties are developing actively based on those principles.
बता सकते हैं कि हमारे रिश्ते इस सिद्धांतों पर बढ़ते हैं.
Our countries have established cooperation on many levels. Trade and economic cooperation in general demonstrates a positive dynamic. Our tourism is developing. We closely coordinate our actions on the international arena. The United Nations, BRICS, the G20, and of course the SEO. Today is a great opportunity for us to discuss the key priorities of our multilateral cooperation.
रिश्तों को आगे बढ़ाने पर रास्तों पर बातचीत करने का एक बहुत अच्छा मौका मिलता है.
Prime Minister, dear friend, Russia and India for decades have supported a special level of relationships, trustful and friendly.
रूस और भारत के बीच बहुत विश्वसनीय रिश्ते बने हुए हैं. इस सिद्धांतों पर वे विकसित हो रहे हैं.
This relationship is absolutely non-partial character and supported by the overwhelming majority of our nations.
राजनीति पर आधारित नहीं है. लोग हमारे दो देशों के लोग इस रिश्तों का समर्थन करते हैं.
So y'all heard that, honey. At the end of the day, Putin and Modi are good friends, okay? Trump thinks that Putin is his friend, but he isn't. Now, JFG says, this not funny. I don't want war. I live here. Well, honey, nobody wants war, but that looks like what we're going to get. Okay, and especially since Trump just came out days ago and said, and I quote, that there's no election if we're in a war. Hinting that he just might start one. Okay, I'm sorry. He's desperate. He'll do anything. Now, Modi and Z meet. Trump as the wild card and other takeaways. Let's get into it. This is the view from India. Just a few months ago, the armed forces of India and Pakistan were locked in a brief but deadly conflict. Now, the conflict indirectly involved a third nation, China. Pakistan's armed forces heavily used China-made equipment, including fighter jets and radar systems. Now, a senior army officer in Delhi said Beijing also provided live inputs to Pakistan on Indian positions. Now, India didn't take a public stand against China, but this left many asking if Delhi would continue on the path of normalizing relations with Beijing. Less than 6 months later, peace talks between the two Asian giants have been turbocharged by decisions taken thousands of miles away in Washington, D.C. The Trump administration has imposed 50% tariffs on Indian imports, saying Delhi was being punished for its refusal to stop buying oil from Russia. Now, here's the question. What do you all think, or shall I say, how do you all think Putin feels about Trump threatening India to stop purchasing oil from them? Now, Delhi had two clear choices after this stunning onslaught from a trusted ally. The first was to cave in and stop buying Russian oil, but it has refused to do so, largely because Russia is an all-weather ally. And giving into pressure doesn't suit Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's strongman image. Now, the second, see, this is the thing. This man is not about to allow Trump to make idle threats and bully them. That's what he isn't going to do. And that's why they came out and adamantly spoke about how Trump had not a darn thing to do with India and Pakistan. Okay, arriving at an agreement. He had nothing to do with that because, in fact, they knew that that makes India look weak for him to be sitting there trying to take the credit for it. Okay, Trump's just a complete idiot. I didn't know he was this stupid. Okay, so with that all being said, Modi is known for being someone who has a strong image or whatever. So he's definitely not going to let Trump's stupid self bully him into submission. Okay, under any circumstances. Now, the second was to stand firm and seek other opportunities, and India appears to have chosen this option for now. It's also pragmatic to look no further when your neighbor is the world's second largest economy and a global manufacturing powerhouse. So it was in this context that Modi met Chinese President Xi Jinping in Tianjin over the weekend. So statements from the two sides were not heavy on details, though they promised to work through their differences to benefit their collective population of 2.8 billion people. Now, the immediate takeaway from the meetings was the resumption of direct flights between the two countries and making the process of issuing visas simpler. But beyond the promise of the elephant and the dragon coming together, the two countries still have major roadblocks to clear before they're able to engage meaningfully. Their first challenge comes from their immediate history. Modi has invested personally in the India-China relationship since coming to power in 2014, visiting the neighboring country 5 times until 2018. But the 2020 border clash put brakes on this momentum, and it has taken 7 long years for Modi to visit China again. Now, the key to making further progress will depend on how the two countries deal with their border issues. Tens of thousands of troops from both countries are still deployed at their contested borders, though there are ongoing talks between their civilian and military leaders to ease the situation. Both Chinese and Indian readouts after the meeting this weekend talked about maintaining peace at the border and not turning their differences into disputes. For India, there is the issue of a burgeoning trade deficit with China, amounting to more than $99 billion. Okay? Both countries still have high tariffs and duties against each other in many sectors. Beijing would want India to open its market, 1.4 billion people, to Chinese products, but Delhi would be wary of doing that without addressing the deficit. Now, the outreach to China, which started with Modi meeting Xi in Kazan last year, may have been supercharged by Trump's tariffs, but ground realities for India remain unchanged. Now, the Modi-Xi meeting is being seen as part of India's policy of strategic autonomy, but it will also cause more geopolitical challenges for Delhi. India is due to host the Quad, which includes Japan, Australia, and the U.S. Okay, this is a summit that's going to take place later this year. The forum was largely seen as a challenge to China's dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. Now, it's not clear if Trump will attend, but if he does and says something against China, it will immediately test the renewed synergy between Delhi and Beijing. Y'all heard that, right? Now, Delhi is also part of several other multilateral forums that are perceived as anti-China and anti-Russia. How Delhi plays its strategic autonomy in the next few months will very much influence the direction India and China ties take. For now, it's clear that India and U.S. ties are at an all-time low. A Trump aide recently called the Russia-Ukraine conflict Modi's war. Okay, so Delhi has also consistently denied that Trump played any role in the ceasefire between India and Pakistan back in May. This has become a constant irritant for the U.S. president. Despite this, India has refrained from imposing retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. and has left the door ajar for further negotiations. After all, the U.S. is India's biggest trading partner. Will going closer to China help India's negotiations with the U.S., or will it have the opposite impact? This is the question that will likely dominate geopolitical discussions in Delhi and beyond in the coming months. Ooh, honey, so stay tuned, honey, because it's all about to go down. All right? It is all about to go down, and Trump is the idiot for getting us into this. Now, with that all being said, let's take a look. Modi and Putin meeting. Hold on. Is this what I'm looking for? Hold on, beloveds. Let me share my screen. Ooh, honey, this is all a hot mess. Okay, JFG said, I do not want war, honey. None of us do. But there is no telling what's about to pop off with Trump. Okay, with Trump at the wheel. Please pay attention.
Glad you're streaming with us. Some other top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani sent to the hospital after a car crash in New Hampshire. State police say Giuliani was actually the passenger in the vehicle that was rear-ended on the highway Saturday night. Giuliani's head of security saying he suffered a fractured vertebrae, among other injuries, but that he was in good spirits and recovering. Former special counsel Robert Mueller reportedly battling Parkinson's disease. The New York Times citing his...
Okay, I'm sure no one cares about that. My apologies. I thought that was a video about something else. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, let's get to this article. Okay, so China and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin met on the sidelines of a regional summit in China. Okay, in a show of deepening ties with New Delhi's relations with Washington strained over the purchase of Russian oil. The two leaders held talks after attending the key session of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, gathering in the port city of Tianjin, where discussions focused on regional stability, bilateral trade, and energy cooperation. In his remarks to the talks, Modi termed the partnership with Moscow as special and privileged. Putin addressed Modi as a dear friend and hailed Russia's ties with India as special, friendly, and trusting. Russia and India have maintained special relations for decades now. Friendly and trusting. This is the foundation for the development of our relations in the future. That's what Putin said, saying these relations are absolutely nonpartisan in nature, supported by the overwhelming majority of the peoples of our countries. Putin plans to travel to India in December for the 23rd India-Russia annual summit. Okay, and this is according to his foreign affairs advisor, Yuri Yushakov. So Modi used the SCO meeting to welcome the peace initiatives aimed at halting the conflict between Russia and Ukraine and called on the stakeholders to move forward constructively, saying to end the conflict soonest and establish peace permanently, we need to find out a way. It's a call of the entire humanity, Modi says. Now, at the talks, Putin was accompanied by a large delegation that included top government officials. Russian state media reported that before sitting down for the formal dialogue, Putin and Modi spoke one-on-one for almost an hour in Aarhus in a high-end Russian-made limousine that Putin regularly brings on foreign trips. So, moments before the leaders lined up for a group photo, Modi was seen clasping Putin's hand with the gusto of an old friend, bursting into his trademark hearty laughter. The moment was infectious as Putin grinned and chuckled, while Chinese President Xi Jinping gave a measured smile. Are they trying to make Trump jealous? Because that's what it sounds like. They're rubbing it on pretty thick, is all I'm saying. Now, the trio ringed by watchful interlocutors, I think that's what that says, chatted animatedly for a few seconds. Okay, Modi met Xi ahead of the opening of the summit Sunday, and the two leaders pledged to resolve their border differences and bolster cooperation. What do you all think about it all? What do you all think? Okay, Mally said 47 is probably jealous hearing Putin say that. Of course he is, beloved. Okay, you better know it. Okay. Oh, Trump, what have you gotten your stupid little self into? What have you gotten your stupid little self into? Okay, moving right along. Let's go to the next video. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to share my screen.
She is hosting the leaders of more than 20 countries for what's known as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. Among those in attendance is Russian President Vladimir Putin and India's Prime Minister Modi. NBC News international correspondent Janice Mackey-Frayer joins us now from Beijing. So, Janice, we know President Xi has been addressing leaders this morning. Tell us a bit more about what he said and what the goals of the summit are.
Maya, this summit has been all about optics, about the sort of messages being telegraphed to the rest of the world, namely to the United States. China under Xi Jinping is seeking influence and to present an alternative to a world order that's been dominated by the U.S. At this summit alone, the leaders of China, Russia, India, Iran, Pakistan, Turkey, and a dozen others are in attendance and showing that they're aligned with this sort of thinking. In his speech, Xi Jinping took some jabs at the way President Trump has been reshaping U.S. foreign policy. He talked of global upheaval and bullying without naming names. All of it underscoring, though, how Xi has been working to present China as this stable alternative for what he calls, quote, an inclusive world order. Maya?
Yeah, Janice, and as we mentioned, Russia's President Putin is there as well. What have we heard from him, particularly on the issue of NATO and Ukraine?
Consider the timing of this summit for Vladimir Putin, just weeks after his meeting with President Trump in Alaska about the war in Ukraine. Putin today, again in the spotlight, blaming NATO for the ongoing war and claiming he has, quote, understandings with President Trump. He didn't say whether he's agreed to ceasefire talks, despite a deadline to do so. But by making this trip for the summit and attending a military parade here on Wednesday, he is again easing out of political isolation. And another leader who is looking to make his way out of the wilderness, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He has also been invited to the military parade, and South Korean media reporting that he's expected to arrive here in Beijing by special train in the next 24 hours.
It's interesting. We also know India's Prime Minister Modi is also in attendance despite some frosty relations with China over border disputes. Tell us about Modi's meeting with Xi and also his meeting with Putin in the wake of those additional U.S. tariffs imposed on India for.
Did she say that man was coming out of the wilderness? No less. D Major says Trump supporters are either mentally ill or they're corrupt as F, in my opinion, and allegedly. I agree.
Buying Russian oil.
Exactly. Just last week, President Trump slapped India with 50% tariffs. Today, Narendra Modi is holding hands with Putin, smiling with Xi Jinping, Modi and Putin sharing a car to go to a sideline meeting. In attending this summit, it was Modi's first visit to China in 7 years. This is after the two countries have had strained relations over border disputes that they are now saying they can overcome. This summit didn't need to deliver headlines or big deals because it's so heavy on symbolism. The message being that the leaders gathered here may have differences among them, but they are united in saying to the U.S. and to the West that they are not without friends.
Oh, honey, do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? They're letting the West know, okay? They are letting the U.S. know. Trump, you are a damn fool. Now, look what he's done. Now, look what he has done. That's right. Mel said India is not backing down. Okay, 555 says, as Queen always says, this country has gone to hell in a handbasket. You already know. Thanks to Trump. Ooh, honey, this is all just nefarious, okay? What are we going to do? Y'all better start building those bunkers. Okay, that's what y'all best to start doing is building bunkers, honey, because it's all going down. And see, here's how you know it's on. Here's how you know. Hold on. Now, I'm not even trying to be funny, but Putin, I know. Oh, family, I know right about now, Trump is literally ripping his hair out. I bet you the next time we see Trump, he's going to be bald. I bet you the next time we see Trump, he is going to be literally bald-headed, okay? Mel said Trump's destroying the country. Of course he is. Nene says they said F you, Trump. Of course they did. And look at this. This is really going to hurt Trump's feelings. He's already ripping his hair out over this one, honey, because Putin and this man are literally holding hands. So much for Trump's bromance with Putin. Y'all see that? Literally holding hands. And he already called this man Priya Dost, which means dear friend. Ooh, Trump, I know you somewhere crying in the car. Well, y'all saw it. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you.
If you're trying to show you're a force of stability in a changing global order, you couldn't have asked for a better parade of leaders touching down in China today. Russian President Vladimir Putin made his second red carpet appearance this summer, the last one courtesy of Trump's warm welcome in Alaska just weeks ago. Helpful validation for the Chinese leader Xi Jinping's long support of Putin. And with his Russian bear by his side, he then told India's leader, feeling the sting of Trump's tariffs, that with the world transforming, the Chinese dragon and Indian elephant should come together. A bear, a dragon, and an elephant walk into a room, and the punchline is Xi Jinping's perfect photo op, along with a guest list of leaders, including Iran, Belarus, North Korea, and Turkey. It's no surprise this gathering of the Shanghai Cooperation Council is being dubbed the Axis of Upheaval Summit. Xi is now reconnecting with Narendra Modi less than a week after US tariffs doubled on Indian goods to 50% because of India's refusal to stop buying Russian oil that helps fund their war in Ukraine.
2.8 billion
It's Modi's first visit to China since 2018, following years of strained relations, mostly over border disputes. The Indian leader told Xi he's committed to improving ties and resuming flights between the two nations. So are Trump's tariffs now pushing India closer to China?
It's not about tariffs. It is about in Trump's foreign policy in his second term, India's role of a strategic partner is no longer there. If you see his foreign policy, now when you don't have a strategic role, then there is, India has problems with China. We have a border problem. There are troops on both sides. And President Putin is a real guarantor of peace between India and China.
The Shanghai Cooperation Organization was created as a countermeasure to Western alliances. And on the other side of the axis, when it comes to Ukraine, Putin is the man of peace.
The European War Party stays on trend. They don't calm down. This is in stark contrast to the approach of President Putin and US President Trump, whose efforts to bring the process to a peaceful course are difficult to overestimate.
And while the Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko is meeting with his Chinese counterpart, closer to his home, the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen is parading down Poland's enhanced border with Belarus in a show of solidarity against Russian aggression.
All right, this is all to be continued, okay? Now listen to this. Lights up, everyone. Marjorie says Putin has the cards on the Trump administration. He knows a lot of the United States Senate and the government. He's a KGB. Russian intelligence are everywhere in America, have been since Eisenhower. He definitely is former KGB. No doubt about that. And he's moving just like one, too. Trump is a complete idiot.
United States form an anti-Western super alliance which could shift the global balance of power forever. So India's Prime Minister has just landed in China for the first time in 7 years, and it could mark the start of something huge. Because for years, India and China have been bitter rivals. They've clashed over the border in 2020, and India deeply resents China's support for Pakistan. So the two have never really trusted each other. But now that's changing, and they are uniting. And the reason I'm sure is obvious right now, it's because of America. As for years, the US has actually been super friendly with India, seeing them as a sort of counterweight to China's rise in the region. But now that relationship is totally collapsing after the US just slapped 50% tariffs on Indian goods and then also blasted them for buying cheap Russian oil amid the invasion of Ukraine. So this has put US-India relations at their lowest point in decades. So rather than stick with a very hostile West, India has decided that it's probably better for them to be friends with China. And so now if you add in Russia's Vladimir Putin, plus the other members of the Shanghai Cooperation Council who are meeting today, then you have a block of countries with massive influence over energy, trade, and security who are all united against the West. In the past, many commentators have dismissed this so-called NATO alternative as just hype and all talk with little to no action, because there are too many differences and too much rivalry between the big members. But now with the US tariffs, the Ukraine war, and global South anger at Western double standards, then these major powers are being forced now to work closer together, whether they like it or not. And so now here is the big question. Is this alliance one which is genuine enough and strong enough to actually challenge the West? Or is it still just all talk and all hype with little to no action? We will have to wait and see, but follow if you want more quick explainers and
I'll tell you what, honey, this is not all talk. These people are dead ass serious. They're sick of Trump. Okay, they're sick of Trump trying to bully people. At the end of the day, just like D Major said, exactly after all that beef between India and Russia, for them to unite now is very telling. At the end of the day, you mean India and China. India and China are the ones that have been having the beef, okay, about the borders. They've been having the fights over the border. That's been going on for quite some time because Xi Jinping said that China and India are each other's development opportunities rather than threats. And so he's basically saying that's why they need to work together now. But India has always had good ties with Putin. Or for decades they have at least. Honey, this is all a hot mess. Okay? This is all a hot mess, like I said. And one thing about it is Modi has always said that Russia and India stand together in difficult times. Okay? That's what Modi said. Honey, Modi is not here for Trump and his BS. Absolutely is not here for any of it. But I want you all to see this because I thought this was interesting. Hold on. I want y'all to see this. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with anything except these people are from India. But I want y'all to pay attention because these men are claiming, hold on. They're claiming that they walked to the U.S. from India. Listen to this.
Where are
Look
you
at
from?
this shit right here.
India?
Listen.
What, you too?
Yeah.
How long have you been walking? All day?
All day.
all day. Did you fly into Mexico and then walk the rest?
What?
But where did you fly into? Where are
Look
you
at
from?
this shit right here.
India.
Now I want you all to pay attention. They said that they walked from India. Now, you know, I heard a story once that in fact, and I don't know if this is true because I have not been able to confirm it. Okay, but I heard this story one time that you could walk through the Grand Canyon to a whole nother country. Now, hold on. Hold on, because I'm asking ChatGPT. Because how did they walk here? That can't be true. Was that AI or something? Okay, ChatGPT says no, you cannot walk through the Grand Canyon. It says you cannot walk through the Grand Canyon, but I don't know if I believe that because this is something they wouldn't want us to know. Okay? This is something they would not want us to know, that you could walk to a whole nother country through the Grand Canyon. Now, I heard that at least a decade ago, and that the U.S. doesn't want us to know that. Why wouldn't they want us to know it? Well, because maybe y'all wouldn't be taking all those airplanes flying everywhere. Maybe these countries are a whole lot closer. These continents are a whole lot closer than we thought. Just perhaps. Okay, now Marjorie says, if you ever studied in political courses, you can literally tell the history behind all of this egregious nonsense. Yeah, of course we can. The history is the United States. The United States is always where nefarious is. Okay, wherever there's nefariousness, there is the United States. They start all the wars. They start all the discord. They create all the division. They globally are a nuisance and a menace. This is a fact. This is a fact. Has the United States ever gotten along with other people for lengthy periods of time? Okay. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, Claudette says, Queen, my son said the same thing about the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I believe it. I think they're lying to us. There's a whole lot that they're lying to us. Okay, Robert said the ice wall. Do you mean the ice wall that Major Byrd went through in the and he saw those extraterrestrial beings? Is that what you're talking about, beloved? We need to start having some serious talks about some of these things that are mysterious and that we've been lied to about. Okay, that's what we need to be talking about. All right. Nelsa G said her son said it as well. Okay, y'all have smart sons. All right. Now, with that all being said, let's continue. Let's go to this last clip, and then we're going to talk about Kamala for just a second. Now, I want you all to pay attention to this, because this just right here goes to show, as I've told you all a myriad of times, that Trump has a whole lot of arse kissers in his camp. And he has a bunch of yes men and yes women. These people are kissing Trump's butt so hard, I know their lips are aching. I want y'all to pay attention. Just listen to them for yourselves. I mean, it is just cringeworthy.
And Trump has surrounded himself with people who already treat him like a dictator.
As we approach Labor Day weekend here, this is just such a great opportunity really to recognize your leadership as a true champion for working people.
Everyone knows there's no stronger advocate for hardworking American families than you, sir.
Mr. President, it's pretty great to celebrate Labor Day with a builder who loves labor.
Mr. President, I invite you to see your big, beautiful face on a banner in front of the Department of Labor, because you are really the transformational president of the American worker.
The average family and individual that lives in this country is safer than they've been in years because of what you've done.
Our country has never been so secure thanks to you.
You have breathed life back into the profession of law enforcement.
Your tireless campaign and your relentless messaging
made people realize the American dream isn't dead. It's just been smothered, and we're unsmothering it and setting it loose.
You have brought us back from the edge. You have the overwhelming mandate.
He said the American dream has just been smothered. Ooh, honey, if arse kissing was a crime, they'd be doing double time. Please pay attention. This is all sick.
From the American people, you're restoring confidence in government.
All the industries that have been killed in this country are coming back to life because of you. You are going to save the whales on the East Coast.
Thank you for saving college football, by the way. We're all very grateful.
This is the greatest cabinet.
You should just tell this mother sucker he saved college football. I thought Deion Sanders took the credit for that. In the world? Ooh, honey, let's keep listening because they are lying their butts off.
Working for the greatest president.
What we are accomplishing now, again, wouldn't be possible if not for your leadership.
God bless your assembly of this team around this table. We're bringing the American dream back.
I do believe we're in a revolution. 1776 was the first one. 1863 or so with Abraham Lincoln was the second. This is the third, with Donald Trump leading the way.
There's only one thing I wish for, that noble committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the Nobel Peace, this Nobel Award was ever talked about, to receive that award.
I mean, what did I tell you? I really couldn't summarize that. The man, according to his cabinet, is starting revolutions, saving whales, apparently, and apparently he's saving college football. I can't explain that one at all.
Me
How
either,
could
honey.
the man not be given a Nobel Peace Prize? How could he not? I mean, either someone scripted all of that fawning praise for Trump, and maybe they did. I mean, the revolution lady, somebody scripted that for her. God bless. Or maybe they came up with it on the spot. Not sure which is worse. Doesn't matter really which is worse. But one after another, Trump's cabinet secretaries bloviated about how America has never been better. All thanks to him. Almost no real business of any kind was actually discussed, really at all. It was basically just a big old group hug for Trump's ego. So whether Trump is trying to become a dictator or not, he is certainly surrounding himself with people who treat him like one. I mean, that appears to be the key to getting a cabinet level position in the first place, right? Not your qualifications or your experience or what you would even really do in the job, but how much you're willing to say or do whatever it is that Trump wants.
Y'all heard it. Just kissing, honey. This is all just so sick. Okay? I absolutely cannot. But anyway, with that all being said, let's talk about Kamala Harris because they're saying that she left it open for a presidential run and left the door open for a presidential run in 2028. Let's see if we agree. So former Vice President Kamala Harris won't be running for California governor in 2026, but is not ruling out another bid for the White House. Now, the two-time Democratic presidential candidate who abruptly took over as her party's nominee in the 2024 general election said in a surprise announcement on July the 30th that she would not compete in next year's gubernatorial race. Now, what Harris, who currently lives in Southern California with her husband, Doug Emhoff, did not say was whether she decided about running for president in 2028. For now, my leadership in public service will not be in elected office, she says. I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plans. A source familiar with her thinking said Harris, who's 60, by the way, did not pass on a gubernatorial campaign in order to clear a path to run for president in 2028. But the person noted that Harris also did not close the door on running for president, and it would have been politically impossible for her to seek both elected offices. Now, the next governor of California will take office at the beginning of 2027, around the same time that Harris would need to be gearing up for a presidential bid were she to compete again. Another factor, Harris is currently writing a book. Two people with knowledge of her plans gave this information and said it's expected to go on tour. They said she can do anything she wants to do, but she owes us nothing. And I hope she spends some time with the kids and Dougie, maybe teaches. I'm ready to go read the book. This is what longtime Harris ally Bakari Sellers said. Oh, Bakari, please sit down somewhere. Okay, isn't he the one that started crying when he talked about Kamala? Do y'all remember that? Do I need to go back and revisit it? Honey, that man sat up there and cried. Do y'all remember? He was looking so forlorn. Or was it Ketanji Brown that he was talking about? Ketanji Jackson Brown or Brown Jackson? He was either talking about her or Kamala. But do y'all remember how he sat there with tears in his eyes and got all emotional? Honey, it was all so contrite. But anyway, she's a talent, and 2028 could be it. Or 2032, whatever she decides. She's young. Honey, 60 is hardly young. Okay. Now, the announcement adds an additional wrinkle to the decision-making process for Democrats with national ambitions who were forced to take a backseat to Harris last year when former President Joe Biden quit his re-election campaign and endorsed his sitting vice president as his replacement. Harris lost the Electoral College in a landslide to President Donald Trump, whom she characterized on the trail as an acute threat to democracy in the face of robust evidence that the electorate was primarily concerned about inflation and the economy. She also came under criticism in the abbreviated campaign for refusing to distance herself from Biden, whose mental fitness and age have faced even greater scrutiny since he left office. Now, in her statement on the California governor's race, Harris said the country is in a moment of crisis because the nation's politics, government, and institutions have frequently failed the American people, saying that as we look ahead, we must be willing to pursue change through new methods and fresh thinking, committed to our same values and principles, but not bound by the same playbook, she says. The announcement took even some of her closest political allies by surprise. I was anticipating an announcement for governor because she would be good at it, and I thought she still wanted to get back in that fryer right now. This is what Bakari Sellers said. Okay. Now, Harris's allies said they do not know which way Harris would come down on a 2028 presidential bid, but they were glad to see her commit to remaining politically active. I think we'll all be waiting with bated breath to see what her next steps are, former Biden and Harris campaign manager Julie Chavez Rodriguez said. Chavez Rodriguez worked for Harris in her Senate office and on her bid for the 2020 presidential nomination before joining Biden's team. She worked as a senior aide at the White House and ran his re-election campaign. She said that she believes Harris is focused on figuring out what she can do in the moment, given the challenges that we're facing in this immediate and what I know will be even more challenges coming up. Now, Glenda Carr, president of Higher Heights, which works to expand Black women's political power and backed Harris's 2020 presidential bid, said her campaign had inspired other women to run. I am on Team Kamala Harris in whatever she decides to do. This is what Carr said, noting that Harris can lead outside of having an elected office. I'm on Team Kamala, private citizen, Team Kamala candidate. Now, Jamie Harrison, the former chair of the Democratic National Committee, said he would like to see Harris campaign for Democrats running for office in 2026, especially in the South. He encouraged his party to stay focused on overturning Republicans' narrow majorities in the U.S. House and Senate and winning governorships, saying it's good to have her out there. And I'm sure as she goes around the country, she'll make up her mind about what she wants to do about 2028. But we can't think about 2028 until we get to 2026. That's what Harrison said. Now, as for what it all means for possible candidates such as former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, California Governor Gavin Newsom, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, the answer is simple, Sellers says. Nothing, because she could still drop the hammer on all of them if she wants to run for president. She'll beat all of them if she decides. Honey, no, she won't. No, she won't. Do y'all think so? Do y'all think so? Listen, here's the thing. The bottom line is this. Claudette says these people are delusional. I agree. Andrew said, did you know when you try and study Admiral Byrd, Richard the Byrd II, everything is being removed from the internet? Is it? That's interesting. I'm not surprised though. But however, I am glad that I have lots of information on him already saved to Google Drive. Okay, so they can delete it all they want. I've already got the receipts. Okay, so anyway, Queen Sam said these reptiles are getting out of control. Aren't they though? Aren't they though? So, there you have it. Now, listen, here's the thing. Harris may or may not run in 2028, but I'm here to tell you that who should run and likely will, in my opinion, is Governor Gavin Newsom. Governor Gavin Newsom, because here's the thing, J.D. Vance is likely going to run unless Trump's monkey R starts a war and tries to stay in office. But other than that, J.D. Vance is likely going to run. Now, how many of you think, once in the chat, how many of you think that Gavin Newsom would be able to beat J.D. Vance? One's in the chat. Two's in the chat if you think Kamala Harris can beat Gavin Newsom. One's for Gavin to beat J.D. Vance. Two's for Kamala. I'm going to have to go with Gavin Newsom. I don't think that the U.S. is ready for a woman president. And I also don't think they're ready for any more word salad. I'm going to have to go with Newsom on this, even though I don't like the little shenanigan that he pulled with the California reparations and all that. But I have to say that he definitely couldn't be any worse than Trump. Okay? And we should all know by now that we don't need another Republican in the White House. Okay? With that all being said, Eco says, Queen, Nelson won't win. You mean Newsom? Oh, yeah, I think that he absolutely could. I think that he absolutely could. Songwriter Sonny said the couch. D Major Scale said, we don't have time for grievances. We have a country to save. So Gavin is the man, in my opinion. Exactly. We don't have time for the bullshit, people. You all playing these silly little games, myself included. Myself included, is why Trump is in office. Okay? We've no one to blame but ourselves. For those of us who did not vote, myself included, we've no one to blame but ourselves. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Perhaps I should have spent more time talking about how dangerous and crazy and insidiously obtuse Trump was, rather than going in on Kamala about her word salad and all that. But you know, they say hindsight's 20/20. Okay? At least I can admit when I'm wrong. All right? At least I can admit when I'm wrong. D Major said, yes, Queen, you should have, but you are now. So that's what matters. Thank you, beloved. Always there to pick me up when I fall down. That's why you're my favorite royal. Okay, that's why you're my favorite royal, beloved. Okay, so anyway, the rest of y'all stop hating. Okay, so with that all being said, Queen Sam, Queen Sam is low down and dirty. Queen Sam said Kamala in those three circles got on my nerves. Darius says, I heard they call him Gruesome Newsom in California. Queen Sam said, I'm hating. You hating, beloved. No need to hate. No need to hate. D Major says, Queen, I really like JB Pritzker too. I like him too. But I'm sad to say that he would likely not be president just for the optics of it all. And I really don't think that's fair. I really don't think that's fair. And I don't blame me. Don't shoot the messenger. But I'm just telling you that I don't think they would vote for Governor Pritzker to be the president because he's a little robust. And that's a darn shame. Because look at Trump. Okay, but I'm just saying Pritzker's a little robust. He actually reminds me of Jackie Gleason. He looks jolly all the time. Even when he's mad, he still looks jolly to me. I mean, I like Pritzker. I wouldn't mind if he was the president, perhaps, especially over Trump or J.D. Vance, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay? I don't think it's going to happen. Vanessa G said he's too close to blackness. Mally says, I love how Gavin is trolling 47. Yeah, I do too. I have to admit, I'm a fan of it all. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I want one more thing to show you guys before I roll up out of here, because I just thought this was funny last night. It's about Ocho Cinco. It has nothing to do with this topic, but I just thought you all should see this, because Ocho, please sit your arse down. Okay, now I got me a good chuckle in last night off of him and Shannon, honey. They are something else. Okay, so let's go to the footage. I'm gonna have to put it, or they did not tell me I could use their footage, but Ocho seems to be having possibly a midlife crisis, in my opinion. Hold on, let me go to it. I just want to hear you all's thoughts on this because hold on. I think it's around the 20-minute mark right before.
Tallahassee right down the street.
I know what FAMU is.
But I'm saying, but listen, I would have the time to go to class and get that HB.
Y'all get beat.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back a little bit further because I don't want you all to miss what Ocho is talking about. Bless his heart. Y'all know Ocho be acting like he's a little slow sometimes. Okay, I need to have a talk with him. Okay, Mel said Ocho is a hot mess. Of course he is. Maya said Gavin Nuisance is more like it. Okay, here we go.
Huh?
Didn't y'all get beat?
It was 10-9.
Whoa.
It was 10-9.
So which team had 10? All I need to know who had 10.
Who?
Who had 10?
Oh, Howard.
Oh, so who had the 9?
The greatest HBCU of all time, FAMU.
So they lost.
But can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
Yes, you can tell me something.
Florida A&M marching 100. They won the halftime show. So technically, we won.
Well, I want to see them go the human jukebox.
Southern?
Yeah, man.
See, I can't even say nothing bad because I love Southern. I can't even say nothing bad.
And they turned it up. Hey, they showed out for us at the Super Bowl.
They did. They showed out for us.
They did.
I love Southern, especially what they did for us down in New Orleans. I love you to death, but you know my allegiance, my life. If I cut myself right now, well, I bleed orange and green.
You bleed orange and brown. Oregon State Beavers.
No. I bleed orange and green.
Oregon State.
You have to understand. Remember how bad I was in high school, coming out of high school?
No, I'm finna Google.
Hold on, listen to me. I was supposed to be at FAMU. I was supposed to be at FAMU. I'm telling you. Listen, hey, let me tell you something real quick. Hey, chat, let me give you a small example, right? When I was in high school, I wanted to be.
Sam said, so Shannon loves HBCUs, but wants Becky to call him Toby. Okay, please make it all make sense.
Like a receiver that played for Miami Edison High School. Y'all can Google this. I looked up to these boys. His name was Jacque Nunley. Somebody.
Mrs. Special K says, Queen, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Talk to Shannon as well, please. Y'all are crazy.
I don't know. If I have anybody in the chat that's from Miami, you might remember Jacque Nunley. Went to Miami Edison, played receiver, if I'm not mistaken. I think he might have worn number 3. He went to FAMU. Me coming out of high school, oh shoot, I want to be like Jacque Nunley. But I want to go to FAMU. So that was part of my love for FAMU right there. Outside of my grandma and my mama always having me at the Classic every year as a little kid. I went to the Florida Classic since 1984. My mom and my grandma went to Cookman. They went to Cookman. But that orange and green, but they came out, they were marching. I was like, oh, I got to go there. Man,
yeah.
My grade.
You went to the Beavers.
Well, I had to go to the only place I can get in. I had to go to the only place that would accept me. I had to go to the place that was willing to give me a 1-for-1 with no eligibility left. Thank you to Dennis Erickson, who remembered me from the little camps when he was with the Hurricanes. That's why he gave me a shot. Man,
you could have after you went to Samo, you could have went to FAMU.
Huh?
After you went to Samo, you could have went back to FAMU.
But I was already on the West Coast. I didn't want to navigate and come all the way back here because I had to get out of Florida. to really get to my destination.
Exactly.
Ocho's making more excuses than a ninja going to jail. Please pay attention. Now he's going to start talking real crazy in a minute.
That's why it worked that way. You wasn't supposed to go to FAMU. Because you'd have still been in Miami.
Yeah.
And you go on to FAMU.
Yeah, but listen, the funny thing about it is when I get some time, right now I got like 273 jobs.
Yes.
When football season ends, I'm enrolling myself back in school at FAMU to finish everything and get my degree. I ain't even got my degree yet.
Now y'all heard this, right? Do y'all hear what Ocho just said? Ocho said when the season finishes, he's gonna re-enroll in FAMU to finish getting his degree. I'm gonna call Cap. Okay, I'm gonna call Cap, and he might really be intended to, but he's not gonna do it. Ocho, please sit down somewhere. Okay, he's not going to do it. Now he's talking crazy. See, this is when you know that someone has reached a midlife crisis. They start talking crazy and start talking about bucket lists and all this. Please pay attention.
He's got a whole bunch of jobs with no degree.
Popeye's wings got better.
Now available in spicy.
Get my master's.
Well, how close are you to getting your degree?
Hey, boy, listen, don't let me tell you, don't let me lie to you.
Lord have mercy. So so in other words, you spent a couple of years in college and you farther away from getting a degree than you when you went.
But hey, listen, God is good.
You gonna take online classes?
No, I'm going to school. No,
man, your big rusty ass ain't gonna be sitting up in no classroom.
Who not? FAMU, Tallahassee, right down the street.
I know what FAMU is.
But I'm saying, but listen, I would have the time to go to class and get that HBCU experience because once football season ends, all the jobs I'm doing, it comes down to it.
Shannon said, man, your big rusty arse. And then said, man, you 50. Look at Shannon just killing all his little dreams.
To a halt a little bit. And I got a little bit of room to maneuver. So I want that experience. And then also, not only am I going to enroll and go back to school, I'm also going to join the band because you know how much I love the band. You know, I play saxophone, I can play drum, I play tuba.
It was at this moment that I knew that he had completely lost his mind. Now he wants to join the band.
And then Shelby Chipman, who's the band director at FAMU, boom, ready. Now I can probably see if I can try and be the drum major or something. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking it my second half. This is my second half of life, huh? I got to do something with it. I got a small window of opportunity. Ain't no telling when I'm gone. Ain't no telling. I'm on the other side of the mountain. Once you over your 50s, you're on the other side of the mountain. So I'm going downhill now. So I'm trying to get everything out the way and check everything.
You damn right you're going downhill. That's exactly what you're doing. You're going downhill talking about you might be a drum major. If you don't sit your butt down somewhere.
Everything off my bucket list.
It all depends on how much you did coming up on the other side of the mountain. It will determine how long it's going to take you to get down on the other side of the mountain.
That's a good question. I don't mean to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't mean to sound ignorant.
Yeah.
But I've been out of school so long.
Yes.
How the hell do I find out how many more credits I need for one to get a diploma, to graduate?
Well, you have to get your thing from Oregon State.
Transcripts?
Yes. Get your transcripts. Yeah.
You think they still got all that?
Yeah.
This fool said, do you think they still got all that? Woo, honey. Mrs. Special K said, I think this is a conversation they should have had in private. I'm embarrassed for both. Said I'm embarrassed for both of them. Okay. I mean, Ocho, please, beloved. Okay, please. D Major says this sounds like a private conversation between friends that someone got wind of, or that someone got wind of. Exactly. Mel said, poor thing. Easy said, Ocho sounded like he got a GED. Ooh, honey, this is all hilarious. But let's continue.
yeah, they still got it.
Okay. Okay. You know, when they update.
Let's hope you got some credits.
I know I got something.
I don't know, Ocho, because I think you majored in eligibility. You were going. I don't think you was trying to get no degree. I think you was just trying to stay eligible.
Hey, that's it. I probably was.
Yeah.
Listen, the funny thing about it is I'm one of the smartest, sharpest pupils in the classroom. I just had a problem not wanting to go to class.
Do y'all hear this? This literally sounds like an oxymoron. Susan said, poor Tink Tink. He said he was one of the smartest pupils in the class. He just hated to go to class. Sir, when were you there to be the smartest of them all? Okay, I have several questions, Ocho.
Yeah, I think the thing is, do you have a problem now, Ocho? Is that you being your age and your mind turning your mind off about those jobs that you got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now, because you got to focus, I mean, I don't know, like you said, you want to go to class, to sit in that classroom, and you sitting there, because I remember when I went back at Ocho, I was at 20. I was 22. And I'm sitting in the classroom, and I'm like,
Popeye's wings got better. Spicy and mild.
I got more money than everybody in here.
Yeah.
More money than the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, I got to get up out of here. I said, ain't no way. There's no way, Ocho, I could have waited a year. And I'm always impressed by guys that do it, that wait 3, 4, 5 years and then go back to school.
Right.
Now, if you're going to do it online, away, okay, that's fine. But to go sit in those classrooms,
you see,
I couldn't do it.
You see why you can't do it? You understand why you can't do it, Uncle?
Mm-hmm.
You had that experience. You've been to HBCU.
I have.
See,
I did.
I've always wanted. My dream was to go to Florida A&M. That was my.
Timothy said, how in the hell is he 50 and calling Shannon up? Exactly. Okay. Easy said Ocho was in ISS class.
I never got to relive that, you know. So I had the cards I was dealt. I did the best I could with them, but now I have the opportunity. You know what? I can finish off that childhood dream, no matter how old I am. You got to understand. But going to class, going to class, actually going to school, if I'm not mistaken, a class ain't nothing but an hour long. I sit here.
It all depends. It all depends. I mean, it all depends. We were on the quarter system, Ocho. So you're right. We only went to a class for like 50 minutes, but it was 5 days a week. If you're on the semester system, you might only have to go to class once to twice a week.
Right.
So it all depends. And then, you know, you might have class, you might have labs. I mean, it's been 30 plus years. I mean, I graduated.
All I'm saying is it's going to take him forever to get out if he's going 1 or 2 classes per week. Ocho, you're not going to do it, boo. Sit down somewhere, okay? This is all just a fantasy. This is all just a pipe dream, okay, beloved? Listen, you've made your money. You've done all you could do. Now it's time to just relax and do nightcap, okay? You do not need to be sitting your big rusty arse, as Shannon called you, in anyone's class. First of all, can you all imagine? Can you imagine your kids sitting in a college class with Ocho? Okay? How's anybody going to get anything done? Anyway, let's continue for a few more minutes.
Waited in 91, so it's so low. I couldn't even tell you. I just know how my attention span is. Is that to be able to turn? But look at Ash laughing. I said, man, me and meetings don't get along. Me and meetings.
Okay, Easy said, Ocho, pay someone to do online. Exactly, honey. Pay me. I'll do all your work and you'll make all A's. All right? Please pay attention. Honey, this is all nefarious. Okay, so that's our laugh at Ocho's expense for today, but bless his heart. He wants to go back to college at FAMU. He wants to join the band and all this. Oh, Ocho, it's not happening. It is not happening, okay? You don't have time for it, for one. And then he's sitting there talking about class only lasts an hour. Yeah, that's what you say now until you have to get your arse up early as hell in the morning to get there and be in your seat before the professor gets behind their desk. Okay, wishful thinking at its best. That's all it is. Wishful thinking. I give him, if he did even sign up, which I don't think that he will, but even if he did, I'd give him a week at best to realize that this ain't it. to realize this ain't it. D Major said Queen volunteering her tutoring services to the world. Honey, you know I'll be doing that. Okay? You got to make my extra coins on the side, honey. I don't make my living off YouTube. All right, so with that all being said, honey, you know, that's why I got to teach my students, honey. I'm a whole college professor. And then I do tutor on the sides. Now, with that all being said, so if you have college courses that you're taking and you need some help, come to me, okay? Come to me for a small fee. All right, shall I say a nominal fee? Dorada said Ocho has missed the bus on that one. Yeah, I absolutely think so. Mrs. Special K says 3 days top, Queen. Not 3 days. You don't think he can make it through the whole week, okay? D Major says Queen got multiple streams of income. Go ahead now. Okay, Alice said maybe checking out young women. Shannon knows how. Ooh, honey, this is all crazy. Jeff said Queen was making bank during white folks' papers when she was in college. Yeah, I sure was. Black folks' papers too, honey. Anybody who needed help and was willing to pay, yeah, I was getting them those A's. That's how I know that a whole bunch of people in this world are nothing but slackers. Okay, nothing but slackers. There's people that sit up there and pay other people to do their work, and then they get degrees and they don't even know what the hell they're doing. I want y'all to pay attention. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, everyone please like, share, subscribe, okay? And I may see you all later. I haven't decided yet because I have some things to do. Okay, that's right. Mel said they're lazy. Yeah, some of them were lazy and some of them were just dumb, to be quite honest with you. Some of them were just dumb. Okay? Honey, I've done some of everybody's homework. There was a police officer, worked for the sheriff's department, honey, and wanted me to take a class for him doing drug counseling. He wanted to be a drug counselor. Okay, I helped him out. Now, with that all being said, do you do your thing and get back here, Queen? I might, beloveds. I might. All right, so anyway, with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Okay, D Major said, would you tutor the president, Queen? Huh? President of who? President of what? Huh, not Trump. Not the president of the United States, honey. He needs a whole lot more than tutoring, beloved. He needs prayer, okay? That's what Trump needs. Trump needs prayer, honey. That's the only thing that's going to help him at the end of the day. And quite frankly, I'm not into tutoring fools. You have to have at least a little bit of sense for me to work with you. Trump's a whole idiot, okay? He is a whole idiot. Now, with that all being said, everyone enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, and I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor. Sold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got